Awesome, you guys. We are now live. William, go ahead and let's start out with the announcement from Mailbox Power. Go ahead and open it up, share your screen, and show us all the new cool campaigns that we can do.
Absolutely, guys. So I just found it actually 5 minutes ago. So I'm really excited that I was able to find it right before the live training started. But if you log into Mailbox Power and you go into the Design Catalog tab and then go into Real Estate, you can actually come in here and
really, if you go to automations, they just moved it over an hour ago.
Okay.
Go up to install an automation. Nope, there you go. Go to real estate, and now they're all there.
Ah, they're all listed here. Sweet.
They're every bit there.
Great. I love it. Okay, so you guys, we've got the for sale by owner automations. You can see here, I actually really like how they did this. They made it so that there are two different size formats. And the reason why that's important is for the people that are on the pro account, which is $49 a month. It means that you can actually build out this campaign, and at the pro account level, every single card is free. So you just have to then pay postage. Now, the 5.5 by 8.5 campaigns, those cards are 19 cents a piece. And so you have to pay for those cards and pay for postage if you're only on the pro account. If you're on the executive level package, then the cards are free. The 8.5 by 5.5s are free. You just have to pay postage only. And just a little reminder for everybody out there, if you are interested in Mailbox Power, on May 1st, they are going to be raising the pricing for that from $149 to $199. So you could potentially save $50 if you buy Mailbox Power now before the first of the month. So just a little reminder there. Now, here's the two new additions: the Buyer GeoFarm Domination Automation and the Expired GeoFarm Domination Automation. So I'm really excited about both of these. And let's go into depth on why. So let's jump into the Buyer GeoFarm Automation. And I've already actually installed this automation in here. Okay, so here are the different cards. We've got, hey there, first name. Did you know that you could own a home for less than what you are paying in rent? There are homes in your area right now that are available for equal to or less than your monthly rent. Call me. Then we've got fire your landlord. It's ready to own your own home. Call me at this phone number if you're ready. They've also added in a greeting card. And so anybody on the pro accounts, you have 50 free greeting cards a month. After that, you have to pay. If you're on the executive level membership, then you have 200 free greeting cards. So when you're building out these campaigns, make sure that you keep that in mind. There's only a few things that you have to adjust in these campaigns. Number one, it's the QR codes. Number two, if you don't want to send some of the cards, make sure you delete them. Like, for example, if you wanted to get rid of the greeting card, then you would just delete that there. But also editing the actual shipment, you can change any of the verbiage on those cards if you.
That's where you edit when it goes out. The individual cards now are underneath right there. That's where you edit the actual cards.
Yeah. Edit the actual project. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's just a few basic things that you have to edit here in the platform or in the cards themselves. And also make sure that your profile settings are set up so that you've got the correct return phone number and return email, so that all of your information is listed there.
William, let me throw this in here because I've had a couple talks with agents today regarding the buyer cards. And I know, guys, not everybody's excited about buyer cards because buyers, right? However, here's a really, really strategic marketing angle for the cards. Go use the automations or the list builder. Go find every renter in your area that makes over 150K a year, that has a 750 credit score, that lives in your zip code, renting for 2+ years, and then has a net worth of over $100,000. These are top tiered buyers. These are buyers that are not going to be fighting for the $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes where everybody else is fighting. You're going to be looking for buyers that are going to be looking for the 700 to $1 million+ home, where even though there is competition, it's nothing like that middle section. That's a good way to use these cards now, finding those top tier buyers, engaging them, and then showing them the expensive homes where you have less competition.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. And there's nothing wrong with building up your pipeline also, right? So this buyer campaign is awesome. I love it. And as Kelly mentioned, you can, the great part about the mailing list feature in Mailbox Power is that you can literally choose renters. So you can literally go in and pull just a custom list of people that are renting homes right now. So very strategic in that sense. Now let's jump back and go over the expired campaign. I am really excited for the expired campaign because this now means that we are going to be able to sync that with our pipeline stages as well. So if we come in here and we go to opportunities, you can see here that our pipelines are set up with voicemail drops and postcard campaigns. So now they've got a FSBO campaign and they've got an expired. So we're going to be able to tie both of those into those, and right out the gate for anybody who signs up with that pro package or top tier package with us. Now these expired campaigns, looks like we've got some nice designs here. I like the color format. Yellow grabs their attention.
It's all editable. Every bit of it's editable.
Yep.
I don't like that flexible commission plan.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the only thing on there I don't like. Let's make those full commissions.
Now, Kelly, what's your opinion on the greeting cards? Do you like them? Do they stand out when you receive them in the mail?
Yeah. Well, you got to understand, with the pro or the executive level, you're getting the 5.5 by 8.5 for free. Just pay postage. You're getting 200 greeting cards every month. On the pro level, you get 50 greeting cards per month, and then they're 50 cents a piece after that. And you're getting the 5.5 by 8.5 for 19 cents. So I for the first year that I sent out cards, I used mostly 4x6. And to be frank, the 5.5 by 8.5 are much better. And because I get the card for free, I use those and the greeting cards pretty much exclusively now. Every once in a while, I'll throw out what we call a gigagram, which is the 12-inch card. But that's if I'm whining and dining somebody. And guys, here's a real cool thing. How many are on this thing with us? 12? Can y'all do me a favor? Go to chat and tell me who has KV Core. I'm going to show you guys a really cool trick for either your email campaigns or your, and those of you that have leads to ROI, KV Core, the whole 9 yards, tell me what you have. Go to chat. Just drop a message. So check this out. Cool. So I've got Chime, but I'm very familiar with KV Core, and I love Leads to ROI, which is our platform. All of them have very similar features. What I started doing, guys, is on my QR code, I like to spice things up, whether I'm putting a QR code in an email or in direct mail. I like to do things like videos, like come up with a video, create a URL for the video, and use that. But let me tell you, William, what I've been doing. On my cards, I went and created a landing page where it said, check out all of my awesome reviews. Then there's a little button that says, click to see my reviews. And I send them directly to my Google reviews, right? So when I created that landing page, I had the URL. I just simply created a QR code. So now back to the card, on that QR code, I dropped a thing that said, check out the Ninja's reviews. You're going to love working with him, right? What a great way to add something different and allow people. Now, this is only going to work if you guys have reviews, right? Start working on those reviews. If you don't, start getting all these reviews in there. Make sure that every client you close, if they like you, if they're mad at you, don't ask for a review. Just trust me on that. But get your reviews. And if you've got some decent reviews, 20 or 30 reviews, make a landing page. My landing page, they get a free ebook, a seller ebook, and they get to look at my reviews, and it's clickable as a QR code. So anyway, when you showed me that QR code, William, I just had to throw that in there because that's another really cool idea for a QR code.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can essentially take a QR code and have that drive to any of the landing pages inside of Leads to ROI. For example, like Kelly's saying, you could actually have your booking calendar landing page that you get with us and drive those people to that to book an appointment with you. And below that, you could also have your Google reviews showing on that booking page. So a lot of different variables you could do there to collect that information. Now jumping back into this, we've got a really nice expired campaign here. We've got a 3 4x6s and 1 5.5 by 8.5 and a 5x7 greeting card. So this will also be great for anybody on the pro account. 19 cents a piece plus postage just for that one card, and then the rest of the cards are all free, up to 50 with the 5x7 greeting card. So really great for that. Now, the last announcement that I want to make before I jump into building out a custom campaign here is that we have updated the pipeline stages in the sense that the newest update allows, the speed is amazing with these voicemail drops, and the system is working flawlessly. So I've ran at least 10 different tests with this. And so I want anybody to know who is using either the FSBO package with us at the $297 plan or the higher plan, that all you have to do is drag and drop these leads into the pipeline stages, and it will automatically, within about 2 seconds, it will call that person and it'll ring the phone once and immediately go to voicemail. So the pipelines there are updated and the voicemail drops are working flawlessly. So now let's go ahead and jump in.
I just want to jump in really quick. So for everyone that's a KV Core user on here, our system, think of Leads to ROI as like a backpack to your KV Core. There are a ton of automations that we can do in our platform that you have to pay for or add additional to get with KV Core. And we do trainings on KV Core regularly as well. So we will be circling back doing some KV Core stuff. I just want to give you guys a heads up. We're going to be showing some awesome automations that you guys can do inside of Leads to ROI with workflows and campaigns. Campaign is the broad overlay that we use, but workflows is actually what we call them in our particular system. So pay extra close attention. William's about to wow you guys with all the awesome stuff that he's going to be able to show you.
Kelly, what were you going to say?
Well, guys, I don't know if you caught this or not, but a lot of real estate agents are like, I need leads. I need help. I need to know what to do, blah, blah. They've automated this. So if you've got a simple site like My Plus Leads, where you've got expired, canceled, withdrawn, and FSBOs coming into your CRM every day, boom, boom. And then within minutes, you bring them over to Mailbox Power, you launch your direct mail. Over here, you launch your email. But what William just showed you on our Leads to ROI, simply dragging that lead over to the corresponding action initiates another campaign. So think about it, guys. Some of you are struggling with what to do. Do I do open houses? Do I door knock? Do I run Facebook? Do it all. But guys, a voicemail drop, a card, an email campaign, schedule a phone call. All of these leads, literally every day, you've got them going into buckets. That's how That's how you crush the rest of this year, your real estate goals. You don't just sit in your office and you don't just go and post social media posts on Facebook. This literally is getting your message into a vehicle and then delivering it to the end user in multiple formats. And guys, this is what I know. That's how you get appointments.
Absolutely. Yep. We've built this with the agent's time in mind, right? We know you guys have to have time, and it's your biggest asset. So now we're going to jump into the workflow section. And so the workflows, again, is essentially campaigns and triggers tied together into one. And so it's made, essentially the campaign section is now a visual campaign builder. And so we've got a lot of amazing functionality in here. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to start from scratch, and I'm going to show you some of the very simple things that you can create. So here in our workflow builder, first you can set up a new workflow trigger. So we can have this function based off of either anything in our CRM or based off
literally anything in the CRM.
Yeah, literally anything in our CRM. You can have trigger this. So just going through a few of these, you know, if somebody books an appointment with you, or if a birthday reminder happens, if there's a call status for outbound or inbound calls. So you could make it so if a FSBO calls you back from the voicemail drop, you can then have an automation automatically trigger, right? So if you miss that phone call, you can then have that campaign start immediately.
Send a text message out to them right then. Hey, I'm sorry that I missed your call, but I saw that you were selling your home on your own, and I'm looking forward to assisting you. I'll be reaching back to you as soon as I'm available.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of functions in here that we can have trigger any one of these campaigns, and including the membership section. So if you guys built out your own course and you want to have any functions trigger based off of that, you can do the same thing. And then you can also have it based off of Facebook lead form submissions. So nice little functions there. So let's go to our first step here. And right out the gate, we want to make sure that we assign to the correct user, to the client in the account. And the next function, if
there's multiple users, how does that look, William?
Absolutely. So if we click on the assign to user section, we can actually add in a second user in here. I could switch to another account if you want me to show that.
That's fine. You don't have to switch to another account, but I just wanted to explain it to everyone. So essentially the way that it'll work is if you have multiple users in an account, so say you have a team account, we can select whether or not we want those leads to be distributed evenly, unevenly. You can select your lead routing rules as you see fit, based on what you'd like to do for your team.
Absolutely. And so right here we go. So in here, you can see the users, and you can split traffic different ways if you want to do it evenly or unevenly. And you can have that round robin throughout all of your agents in the system. So basic functionality, just like with KV Core and team accounts. And then our next step that we can do is actually sending an SMS. And so in here, we have the same types of custom values that KV Core has, except for ours are way more in depth. So essentially, you can put in the contact first name or email, any custom value for the contact itself. And you can also do custom values for like appointments or calendars. So you could put in your own calendar and things like that. And then there's also custom values that we've created in our system. So if you wanted to add in like your booking page or things like that, you could add that in. So let's go contact first name. And
hey, Willie, so does that mean that we could add in things like beds, baths, price range that they filled out on a form?
absolutely. Yeah.
So it's instead of custom values, it's actually contacts and then custom fields at the bottom of the contact.
Yeah.
So essentially with this, what I'm kind of getting at is that you guys could actually make a very detailed message going back out to this individual based off of the information that they provided to you on Facebook. So we ask questions on our forms when we're gathering a lead. We're asking to find out what the beds, baths that they're looking for in their next home, what price range they want to purchase within, and what their time frame to buy is at a bare minimum. So that way we can get a gauge, check the pulse on the lead, see how soon they're ready to rock and roll. But then we have pertinent information that we can utilize in calls and text messages so that we can so that we can have a tailored conversation to that lead. But you never have to actually click a button or send a message. Once you set it up, you guys actually forget it. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to say, let's just say the lead's name is John. It's going to say, John, I noticed that you submitted on Facebook saying that you were searching for and this is how many beds and baths the home is. And then he can go in and say, in this particular price range, I'm going to start sending houses to your email. And then he could use the email that was provided in the Facebook form. And I wanted to see if there were any changes that I needed to make before I started sending them out. So a very personalized message that's going out to this individual or this lead, but it's 100% automated. And you set it up one time in a workflow. And then that message goes to every single one of your buyers, giving you the opportunity to get a higher response rate because of the message is more tailored to that individual buyer themselves.
Absolutely. So that's a great SMS right there. I really like that. Another thing that you can check out inside of the workflow builder is the statistics. So after this campaign is actually running, you can then see the amount that was delivered and clicked and failed as far as texts go. So a really nice overview for your SMS and your statistics in there. And so we also have the same thing with the emails as well. So now let's go ahead and add in an email, and we could essentially do the exact same thing in here.
For time purposes, yeah.
Yeah, for time purposes. And in a little bit, I'll also show what Bryan had helped build for one of our other clients, which is actually taking the PDF guides off of listings to leads and putting that into our system here. And it makes a really amazing tailored buyer campaign. If you guys,
we're actually going to push that live to everybody soon.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, listings to leads has a bunch. There's probably about 60 different PDF guides that they've built in the system, and they're all custom branded to you as an agent. So it's going to show your headshot, your name, your phone number and email, and your logo. So really great PDF guides. And then you could actually download those and upload those here into the system in the email builder and create an email for first-time home buyers. And you could then have them download a first-time home buyer PDF guide, right? So really great functions in here. You're going to put your from email and from name. And now we're going to save the action. And the next section I'm going to go into is the voicemail section. So just like how we have the ability to drag and drop a FSBO into the pipeline stage that will automatically send out a voicemail, you can do the same thing in here and record your own voicemails. So You do have to record those voicemails in a specific format. It's either WAV or what's the other format, Brian?
MP3A
WAV or
or
MP3.
MP3.
Yeah, yeah. So just note that you have to do that when you are recording your voicemails. It's really simple to do on Macs, and on Windows, you can download a simple program like Audacity, which is free. So here is just like the canceled voicemail drop, for example. So I can now load in my voicemail. And so now what's going to happen with this function is it's going to, number one, assign to me as the user. It's then going to send out an SMS and then send an email and then send a voicemail. Now, I also think I'd like to put wait periods in between these, right? So I don't want all three of those functions to happen immediately. That would be kind of crazy, and it would definitely seem like it was a bot or spammy, right? So I want to put in here time delay for 2 minutes. Let's actually put that after the first SMS that goes out.
Do a 1 minute delay before that first SMS, because it's so it seems like it's so tailored and personalized. So just make it look like the agent actually took a little time to write that message out. So 1 minute after would be perfect.
Sounds good. And then 2 minutes after, actually 5 minutes after, we're then going to send out that email. And so that's something to keep in mind also, that if you're doing any type of automated save search alerts with KV Core, that's something that you also want to think about, is that they're also going to be getting that list of properties, right? And so the way that the save search alerts emails go out is that it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for the system to truly trigger and actually send out that list of properties. So having this email go out with this is about the perfect time frame. You've got about a 7-minute wait before this first email goes out, and then about another 7 or 8 minutes after that, they'll get the list of properties. So that should be perfect. And then why don't we put a wait period in here for the voicemail drop to just be the next day. So the next day they're going to get a voicemail drop that, you know, and you can really make this strategic and think about how you want this to work, right? So when you're leaving this voicemail, you could say, hi, you submitted your information yesterday, and I just wanted to follow up with you again to see if I could catch you at a good time and see if there was a time that we could speak. Go ahead and call me back at this number, right? And so this voicemail is actually going to be sent out from your personal smart number here in the system with us. So that's something to remember. As long as you have the mobile app, we have a mobile app for our CRM. So as long as you have that mobile app downloaded, it will automatically ring to your phone, and you will get notifications for any text messages or emails or responses from any of those leads. So the voicemail drops, the text, the emails, those will all be in the same contact section for that one person. So you'll be able to see all of the functions. Excuse me. The next section that I'd like to add is, let's add this person to a Facebook custom audience. And so all you need to do is just click this button to connect to your Facebook account. And then that person will automatically be loaded into your custom audiences on Facebook. And I think one of the easiest ways to do this is if you're running an ad through listings to leads with our system, you can just add these persons back into that custom audience, or you could create your own specific custom audience for people that you run through this workflow.
What I would do on this, you guys, is I would create an audience for each individual segment of your business. So in a lot of the trainings we do, we cover pulling data from platforms like Remind or from from going in and getting homeowner information from My Plus Leads neighborhood data, PropStream, Property Radar, several other platforms like that. So if you guys go and actually pull that kind of data and you grab a homeowner from specific neighborhoods and those kinds of things, you can create individual audiences in Facebook with those different segments of neighborhood data. What I would recommend doing is having a list of like your hot sellers and make a hot seller audience for Facebook. And then every time you're running an ad for like what's my home worth, or you're showing a pending property that you just sold and you're gathering seller information from those, I would drive those directly into a particular audience where you have a series of videos going that's going to be explaining certain steps of the process to them about selling their house, whether it's, starting out by decluttering, depersonalizing, getting their house ready for a buyer, making sure that everything's completely deep cleaned, and that when somebody walks into that house, they can feel like it's their own. Things like that is what I would go ahead and retarget or utilize this for. But you can add any lead that you get through this system automatically into a specific audience in Facebook. And if you have an ad running to that audience, you're retargeting or you're following up with that lead automatically with text, with emails, with a voicemail drop. And now you're also getting an ad right back in front of them on Facebook, where you are starting to develop authority to that lead, setting yourself up as the go-to agent in that marketplace, building trust, and getting them ready for a conversation with you when you get the opportunity to chat with them on the phone. So it's absolutely huge that you guys can add a lead at any point in time in your follow-up sequencing to a particular audience in Facebook, because that means you're automating your advertising to that individual once you've made them a contact. It's huge.
Absolutely. And let's take a look at some of the other external communication options that we have in here. So so you guys can see this, we can also automatically send a message through your Facebook Messenger, right? So if you have that person submit information, you can now automatically send them a message. And
they do have to message first, though.
They do have to message first, yes.
So you can set this up essentially as a messenger bot.
Yep. So you can build out your own messenger bot here in the system. And you could have different trigger links that you could build as well for those people to click to go to a landing page to book with you or anything along those lines. So awesome Facebook Messenger option. And there's also an option for Instagram direct messages. And it looks like the same thing with Instagram. We have to send, contact needs to have previously messaged a page no more than 24 hours. So as long as you spark that,
we can. So Facebook's rules have gone back and forth on this. So it was that you could continue to contact somebody that contacted you, and then they put a timer on that. They then said, okay, well, now you have 7 days to contact somebody. And then they reeled it back even further, then said you have 3 days. And now they've opened it back up to 7 as long as you fit certain guidelines. Basically, we can keep it within 7 as long as you don't get any complaints. But you'll be able to have a messenger bot that can follow up for as long as 7 days on Facebook and on Instagram, which is huge.
Absolutely. And we can also add in Google My Business messaging in here as well. So we can send out a Google My Business message to this specific contact, which is awesome. And if
somebody found you because of your awesome reviews from your business, let's say you've got a Google profile and you've got a ton of reviews on there. If you don't, Willie's going to show you guys how to get them here in just a second. But if you guys have a Google My Business, ton of reviews, somebody found you on there and sent you a message, that message shows up inside of the CRM because we have a direct connection to Facebook as well as Google My Business, so that you guys can not only gather any information that's coming from lead data from either service, but you can also do things like automatically or schedule posts for your Google My Business, your Facebook, and your Instagram all through our platform as well. So a couple of really cool things I just wanted to throw out there. But if you're getting reviews, people are messaging you through Google My Business, it shows up here.
Yep, absolutely. And one of the other functions that I'll actually show up here at the top is the call function. And so essentially what you can do with our system is make it so that when that lead comes into the system, you can automatically have our system call you, and that our system will then, once you answer, our system's going to then try to automatically call that potential lead and connect you with them. So a really nice function there. And I like that we're able to try to automatically make that connection in there. Another option. Oh, never mind. Excuse me.
Oh, we changed just the booking bot.
Yeah.
The appointment bot.
There we go. Okay, so the AI appointment booking bot. This is a awesome little function that is going to automatically try to book an appointment for you on your Google Calendar. So as Bryan mentioned, we're synced with Google, as well as Google My Business. And so our bot here.
Also Outlook and iCal.
Yeah, we've got a lot of different integrations. And so our bot will actually try to book an appointment for you. You can change and edit this intro message to be whatever you want. And the bot is going to then respond based off of positive or negative intent. If it's positive intent, it's going to ask what specific times that person has available based off of the openings that you have on your calendar. So it's actually going to check the time frames that you have available on your Google Calendar, and then it's going to give a list of those time frames to that potential lead. And if the person says yes, then it's going to ask what time would they like, and they say they agree to the time, and then it'll book that appointment directly to your calendar. And then we also have automated appointment reminders that go out to those people to make sure that they show up to that appointment as well. So the AI appointment booking bot is awesome, and we love that one as well. The next section that I want to mention here is updating the pipeline stages. So as I showed earlier, we have the ability to do those voicemail drops for the FSBOs, and also for any canceled, expired, and withdrawn listing leads. So if that homeowner data is coming in from MyPlusLeads or whatever source you're pulling those in from, we can actually make it so that you could have a workflow and set it up so that as long as you've checked out that that listing is active, you could just add somebody to a workflow and now update their pipeline stage so that it will automatically add them into the voicemail drop category, or automatically send them a voicemail and set them up on the mailer. So let's give a different example instead of just a new campaign. Let's make it so that if a FSBO lead calls you, so if a FSBO calls into the system, we then want them to automatically be moved into the postcard campaign stage. So you can pretty much set up a workflow to trigger based off of any variable in the system and really start to make your marketing strategic. And that's what I love about the workflow section. Right now, I'm going to jump into one of our other clients' accounts, and I want to show you the buyer PDF workflow that Bryan had created. Excuse me. Okay, so here we've got the buyer PDF workflow. This triggers based off of a lead form being submitted, or if they have the buyer lead in contact tag, it assigns to the user and adds them to the buyer lead in pipeline stage. And then we have this nice set of emails that are sent out to them. So let me try to zoom in here so you guys can see this a little better. So we've got the subject is free home buyer's guide. And it says, hi, contact first name. Thank you for submitting your information to us on Facebook. We look forward to assisting you in your home purchase. I've provided a free PDF guide on purchasing a home. Click the image below to download. So here's the ultimate guide to buying a home. And you can see here that this is automatically linked to a Google Drive link, which is set. All you have to do is change the sharing settings so that it's open to anyone to download. And that is going to automatically make it so that they can download this PDF guide. And it automatically pulls up this option. You can see here that here's the custom branding for that agent. And we've got the listings to leads home valuation link right there for them as well. But these PDF guides are really informative. They're really well done. I love the way that they've done these. They're really professional and have a lot of great content in them. So that is the ultimate guide to buying a home.
Then guys, there's a couple of different ways you can do this as well. So for this particular email, I wanted that image to be displayed on each of these. So they just click on the image to go to the actual, so they can go and see the PDF on a website or on their browser on their phone, right? But if you guys wanted to, you can see there's a big green button underneath to add an attachment. You guys don't have to add a photo with the link and go in and do all the Google Drive stuff and just overcomplicate it. You guys can just have the PDF downloaded on your computer, click the add attachment and add this as an attachment to the email, and just let them know that attached is a guide on how big of a home do you need. So you guys don't have to do it this way, but this is visually going to come across very well to a potential buyer. But I just want you guys to know that you don't have to get super tech involved like we did with going and adding this to Google Drive, making the link 100% shareable, pulling the link, adding an image, and then plugging it onto the image. You can simply just add the attachment here as well. So there's more than one way to cut the pie.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the next one that we're looking at is how much home do you actually need? So we've got another great PDF guide here. Let's just take a quick look at this one. How big of a house do you need? Home size based on family size, based on location, based on lifestyle, based on type. Great PDF. So a really nice buyer PDF follow-up. Are you ready for a home purchase? And we finish it off with why home ownership matters, equity taxes your life. So a lot of different angles that you can take for building out campaigns here in our system. And that is my overview for workflows.
Awesome, William. Well, I'm really happy with a lot of the different things that you covered today. There was some really, really cool aspects of this that I think that you were able to shed a good amount of light on. You guys, next training that we are going to be doing, we kind of jump back and forth on these. We'll do a training on, converting internet leads, and then do another training on a different piece of software in a system. And so on Thursday, we are going to be alternating, shifting gears again, going towards generating leads and converting those leads at the best level. So I look forward to seeing everybody on Thursday's live training. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you guys go and make it the best day that you can.
Thanks, everybody.